I couldn't be more proud of this team. Just the fight of, you look back 10, 11 games ago, and we really started progressing. My players could have gave up a long time ago. We were struggling, injuries, obviously some youth, but just the growth that I've seen in this team, it gives me great hope for the future. When you talk about the stat line from tonight, we got Maylin with 13, Anna with 17, Izzy with 14, LA with 12. Those are 4 sophomores. So our nucleus is just so special. We just, we're going to line it up, and we're going to go to work in the spring, go to work in the summer, preseason, and we won't feel this again. We'll be back, and we feel good about that. We feel confident in saying that. I love this team. I still stick beside this team. So proud of us for never giving up. We could have gave up tonight. We were down 17. We kept clawing back just like we always do. So just looking forward to the future now because it's what we have. I just cannot wait. I cannot wait to get back in the lab with these players. Cannot wait to just get back on the floor with them next season. It's going to be a special season for us, and just can't tell you how proud I am of this team and the growth.
Okay, we'll start it off. We got a couple questions from Zoom. Both of these from Mitchell Gladstone for Coach. How much of that third quarter did you feel, your team and the amount of games that you've played versus the execution that was coming from Southern Miss?
I don't think it had anything to do with the amount of games we played. We were fine. They had a great plan defensively, going back and forth from man to zone, kind of throws your rhythm off a little bit. We just had a little bit of time, just kind of getting a rhythm with it, but we're not worried about it. Obviously, we got a lot to learn from this year. We've learned so much. We've grown so much. So all we can do now is just look towards the future. Yeah,
and then for the players, this last week and these last couple weeks, what has that really told you about this group and also yourselves?
Like Coach said, we're a young team, so we just know that we have a lot of potential, and we've learned, and this has been a growing year, and we're gonna learn from this, and like she said, we're not gonna feel like this again.
Yeah, I agree with Izzy. It's definitely been a learning experience. In the past couple of weeks, we have turned it up a lot, and I think moving on to next year, we're just going to be better.
Okay, we got a couple from Chris Hutchison. For Coach, you do have a lot of starters coming back next season, like you've talked about. What are some areas you want to address in the offseason and recruiting?
We just want to get back in the lab and just work. We just want to outwork everybody. We want to be the hardest worker. We want to be the toughest team. And I like where we are as far as our team. Recruiting, obviously we'll go back to the drawing board and see, what needs we may need based off who we have leaving. But I'm not even worried about that. I'm happy with what I got coming back. We got our whole starting 5 coming back, plus some, and I can line it up with that team and go again. So, like I said, just really excited about the future. Just excited to get back to work in the off season. For us, we just want to continue to learn things of how we want to be defensively, offensively, playing fast. And I'm just telling you, we'll be back next year. We'll be back stronger than ever, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, Coach, just to talk a little bit about, your team's performance. You mentioned it, 5 players in double figures. You guys were pretty outstanding behind the arc. You shot really well down in Pensacola. What are your thoughts for this group? And they were just so resilient down the stretch.
This group is a group that's worthy of a championship in terms of talent and what we have. So we're going to go to work this spring, this summer, in the preseason, and we're going to work like champions, and we're going to do whatever it takes to get back here and not feel this way. We feel really good about where we are. We feel really good about the growth, but we know we've got to take that next step in our growth, and I'm just really excited to just do it with this team. I couldn't be more blessed to coach a group of girls like I do. So just thankful that they chose me to be their head coach, and we're going to get to work, and just really excited about what's to come for us.
Coach, can you speak, you talked about the numbers and the performance of your team. Can you speak about the camaraderie within your team?
Yeah, obviously going through a tough season, it and going through injuries and things like that, it was hard to get our chemistry early, so you try to get that chemistry in November, December. We didn't really get it till late January because we stopped having injuries. For us, it's, we really saw ourselves come together. We were playing for each other, playing together, and it's going to be that times 10 next year. It'll be magnified. So I just can't wait, like I said, just to get back in the lab with this group, for them to even get chemistry in the spring. These players didn't work out with us in the spring last year, getting the summer with them preseason. It's going to be really special for us.
And for the players, you talked about this season being a season of learning and growth. Can you maybe talk about how you've seen either yourself or your team grow this year, and really particularly these past couple of months?
I think our team has really bought into what our coaches want, and we've just learned what each and every one of our roles are, and I think we've really honed in and just bought into what we need to do as individuals and collectively to get the job done.
Yeah, I think our chemistry, like Coach Des was saying, and Izzy, has definitely grown over the past couple of weeks, and I think chemistry goes a long way on and off the court. So it allowed us to get to know one another, how we play, the style of play, what shots we like to take, and how our passes are, and things like that.
Izzy, I know close to home, but can you talk about why you chose to come to Arkansas State?
I believe in Coach Dez's vision here, and I believe in her as a coach, and so I'm really excited to continue to follow her and work with her through this journey.
Yeah, Coach, one more question here from Zoom. That third quarter for Southern Miss, they really came out on the ball. Dominique Davis kind of leading the charge. What did you see from them in that third quarter in the second half?
Just hats off to them for just being ready to go in that third quarter. They're a more experienced team, and they knew what they had to do, and they did it. But for me, I'm not going to dwell in that. Not another second. For me, it's about looking toward the future for us. I just have to move on. Obviously, we didn't want it to end this way. We feel like we had a great run. We felt like we could get there one today. We didn't, and that's life. But like I said, we're just excited to get back in the lab. Our future is bright. We'll be back. We will not feel this way next year.